All right, so we are back working on the Cummins. Today's goal is to at least get one fender off, or if not, we'll just get all this shit off, because this is how you get to the fenders and stuff. So we'll get this off, this box. I don't know if I can leave that on or not. I mean, we'll find out. We'll get this battery off and this air box, but I just spent like 20 minutes with a wire wheel back here just to see if the frame, is real savable. And it's like, I don't know, man, it's iffy. But I feel like this is not even that bad. I feel like if you just sandblast this, I don't really know why this is like that. Like a big layer is just gonna get rusted off. But if that's how the whole truck's gonna be, I think we're gonna be in okay shape. I think we'll just have to hit it with a good sandblasting job and then hit it with the 415, but that is another day's problem. We got to get it down to the bare bones first. So yeah, let's get it tackled out. Get these batteries out and pick it up from there. All right, well, I'm was a little frustrated with this, but we finally got it out. So there's this plug on the bottom of this driver's side one. I don't think there's one on the passenger side, but there's this plug right here. It's got like this blue or whatever, and it's like you gotta push this thing out and then push down on the connector and pull out, and it plugs in to this thing. And it's really, really awkward, and you can't even see down there, so you just kind of gotta feel it. And then there's a plug right here. This one, it's just hanging out on the bottom, and that plugs into this. So there's two plugs on the battery thing, and then I got a whole hell of a lot of wires going to my battery, positive and negative leads here and stuff, probably the edge tuner shit. But yeah, all right, there's that. I guess next step is to, I don't know what this bolt's from. I don't think that was from me. Cool. Anyways, it's always nice when you find extra bolts. Yeah, I guess we'll get the, also you had to get the wheel liner out so you could actually access a couple nuts and bolts on the bottom of the battery. But here's the thing I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna take everything off of this stuff and just lay it on top of the motor here. Cause I mean, this motor's probably not gonna start for a couple months. Cause it's honestly not gonna start for a while because I'm taking everything apart right now. This is the start of it. I mean, it's the only way I'm gonna move it is if I put it in neutral, and I'm gonna have to push it by hand. I think this one's gonna be a lot freaking easier. But I think what I'm gonna end up doing is when I'm back in here putting the truck back together, I'm gonna get in here and get all new of these terminals, whatever you call these things that clamp down on the actual plugs. Because I mean, they're all corroded and just disgusting. I mean, my batteries are like, here's the wheel. But there's the battery from the passenger side. I mean, it's just gross. I'll get all new of that stuff, because might as well. And then I broke the battery box holder when I was untightening the freaking clamps that clamp the battery in. This little piece broke, but I already found it on Rock Auto. You can buy this whole battery box for like $12. It's nothing crazy. So yeah, there's the stock motor, stock Turbski. That will get upgrading in the future, but we got to get body and framework done first. Rust repairs first, motor work second. All right, that's the end of Monday night. Accomplished something, so that's good. Got the battery in the battery boxes completely out on both sides, so yeah. Another thing I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna just start doing is I'm gonna label all the wires to take off, because I'm really bad with wiring. I don't really not sure if I'm gonna remember what goes where. But yeah, that is another thing I'm gonna help, that I think is gonna help me with this build when I'm putting it back together. So yeah, that's what I've always been told, is just to label stuff just in case, because I mean, you never do know. you're gonna remember. Plus, I'm gonna be taking a lot of stuff off of this, so there's probably gonna be something I'm forgetting. And that's most of the reason why I'm also recording most of this, so I can go back and watch and remember. But the only thing with taking the battery box out on the passenger side is that this wiring harness right here is clipped into the side right here. It's just put right in there, just so it's not flying around. And yeah, that's about it. But otherwise, the passenger side was way easier. I mean, there's no like, whatever this thing is, I have no idea what this is or what this is for. Maybe I'll do some research and figure it out. But like, it's not the horn or anything. But I mean, if I follow this wire, like, man, I'm just not too sure. But you know, whatever. I'll figure it out. But it doesn't matter as long as I disconnect it and get it out of the way so that I can pull these fenders off, and then I can pull the hood off, and then I can pull the cab off. All right, we're back working on it. I already started taking stuff apart. Just got the headlight out. So usually there's a bolt right here, bolt right here, bolt right here, and then a bolt right here. And for some reason, I only had that one and that one. And when I took that one out, it broke. And for some reason, it's a Phillips with a nut on the back, but she broke. So gonna have to get a new one of those. But anyways, yeah, I'll get the headlights out here and then work on figuring out how to get this fuse box out. And then, yeah. All right, so I'm almost to the point of unbolting this passenger fender. I have the headlight out. I have the air filter out of the way. It got all these wiring that had to pop off. So this ground was ground to right underneath in there. This was ground right there. I'm just keeping the bolt with the ground, so when I hook all this, I don't lose it. And then there's a front of the headlight ground that was ground in right there. And then there's just a bunch of these. So this wiring harness, where is it? So this wiring harness is like this. And there's just a bunch of these, I don't know, holders that you hold them in. You just pop them out. One of these tools is, where's that tool? This tool. It's really nice for that. I don't know, it's a door panel clip tool or whatever. Just pop them in, pop them out, and then you have to unconnect this connector from this, because these are connected like that. You have to unconnect those, and then pull this wire down through that hole down there underneath the horn, so you can get the fender actually off. And then these horns, you can take them off, but they have these two plugs for them. They just come right off. So yeah, let's get this wiring taken apart, and then we're ready to unbolt. And then we're gonna have to watch out for these AC lines too. But yeah, we'll at least try and get the passenger fender off tonight. I don't see why we can't. All right, just got that fed through the bottom. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you gotta feed it like one wire down at a time. So you got the marker bulb down, and then get the headlight connector plug down, and then there's the horn plug down, and then you can get the rest of the long stuff in. But yeah, I got these AC lines. They're unhooked here. They'll stay here for the time being. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there is 14 bolts to take off here. We got 1, 2, 3. We got the 3 up here, and then there is 2 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. And then I'm pretty sure you gotta take, there's a bolt up by the AC line, and that bolt right there. And then I believe this bolt and this bolt back here, I believe that is the only thing holding the fender on. Oh, I think I gotta take this antenna off too. Let me, yeah, let me get that off real quick. Whew! Finally got the fender off on the passenger side. There she is, all rusty like normal. The massive hole. Yeah, she's rusty. So there was a lot of freaking bolts. So 2 of them that I had no clue about was there's one right here underneath the mud flap, And then there is one right here. And that's right here. And then for another thing I forgot to say is to take the antenna off. You just gotta unscrew the actual antenna, and then there's like this silver piece that goes around it. But yeah, that's the Fender. One thing that I should mention is make sure you have your AC lines out of the way. There's this thing from the air filter box that was screwed down, got caught on mine, and I started tugging, and thank God it didn't break, but it bent pretty bad. So who knows, that might be a problem in the future, or maybe not. But yeah, that is finally off. Now we got to do the driver's side, which I'm dreading to do because of this fuse box, and I don't know even what this thing is, but it looks like it's got brake lines connected to it, and I don't want to fold those over the motor, and I don't know if I want to take those off. So I'm gonna have to watch some YouTube tonight, do some research, and see how I can get this off. But yeah, honestly, after the passenger side fender's off, we're taking the hood off, and then we're taking the cab off. I mean, we're gonna get right into this. But I'm thankful I got this fender off. I mean, this was easy. Just a few bolts you gotta take off, and then, actually, let me count. 13 bolts. 13 bolts total that hold this thing on. Which ain't too shabby. Mine, down here, I ended up having to cut it out because it's like this weird, like bracket or whatever holding it, like is what it screws into. But yeah, that's all the junk that fell out of my fender when I took it off. Rust, paint flakes, all of it. No bueno, but that's what I'm fixing. We're gonna fix this rust. We're gonna get rid of it later. All right, we're back. Day 2 of the fender removal, I suppose. So we got the fuse box undone. You know, that was real easy. It's 2 10mm bolts. There's one that goes on right there, and then one that goes on right here. And those screw into right here. That bottom one goes in right there, and that top one goes in right there. There's 2 of them. And then there's that little tab right in there. Oh, focus up, please. That tab, it's just kind of on there, and then the leaf's not supposed to be there. But, yeah, just a fuse box, that's off. And then I did some research, and this is the ABS module. So what I think I'm going to do is unbolt it, obviously. And then when I unbolt it, I'm going to take some zip ties and just tie these brake lines to these brake lines. I believe these are brake lines. It's disconnected. But I'm just going to zip tie it, and it will just hang here. I do plan on redoing all the brake lines in here and switching to the aluminum copper mix so they do not rust or corrode or anything. But yeah, and I'm wondering if I should replace my ABS module because my ABS light's always on since I've gotten the truck. And you know, nobody likes a dash that looks like a Christmas tree, so well, I'm gonna try and fix that. I mean, engine light wasn't even on. It was just ABS and airbag lights. So yeah, I'm gonna get this unbolted here, and then I'm going to hopefully get the fender off. I mean, it's not much to do, I don't think. So, yeah. All right, little update. I got the ABS module off and zip tied up so I don't break any of these lines. Just put about 3, maybe more would do, but yeah. So there's a bolt right here, and then they're very hard to see. Well, there's a bolt right down there. Let me get the light. And then there's that one. There's a nut right there. It's right down there. It's like right under there. I don't know if I can't point and hold the light and hold my phone at the same time. But that one is a bolt, and the 2 are nuts. Here's what the nut looks like, and here's the bolt. I lost one of the nuts. But I know it's in there somewhere, but I'll dig it out later. But yeah, on to unbolting the fender. I mean, that's actually, I believe there's something else down in there that I have to unbolt. Right in there. I'll figure out what that is, how many bolts are in there. Oh, all right. I'm on to unbolting the fender. I got the fuse box all done. there's a wiring harness right here that you have to pull the tab out of there. And then there's another tab right down in there. And the ABS module is completely out. I don't know what this like Kleenex is in here, but whatever. Yeah. After I got the ABS module out, I saw that there was this thing down in here. I'm not too sure what it even is. It looks like a freaking spark plug, but I know that spark plugs aren't in diesel. But I feel the wires leading up to the positive terminal here, so I'm not too sure what it is, honestly. Anyways, there was 3 of these bolts, which were oddly enough 3/8. Those were a pain in the butt to get out. But yeah, that was it. So now we're just gonna do the same thing that I did on the other side. Gotta make sure to pull this harness back too, you know. I mean, there's nothing in the way. Oh, and the hood latch cable is right here, and there's just a few clips holding it on. There's one up there, and then there's one back here that just pops right out. And then yeah, we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll get this fender off tonight. So get after her. All right, quick 15 minutes, and she's off. There's a few things that I forgot that you can't really see. So this one and this one were still connected. This connection was still connected, kinda. And then this little connector was still connected, you know. So I think the only way to get to those is popping the fender off, but it's not like pulling tension on them, so I don't think you're harming anything. So, you know, you just unbolt the fender and then pop those tabs off, and then fender's off. Yeah, it's easy as that. So I think I'm gonna call her a night, and then we'll I was gonna get the hood off tonight, but I think I want a second person because I know somebody who took their hood off and broke their windshield, and my windshield's already broke and I don't want to break it anymore. So I'll wait till somebody's down here for me to do that. But anyways, yeah, get the hood off, then we'll start getting the cab off. There isn't too much I got to do to take the cab off. I know that I'm going to have to actually take this ABS module off at some point. And then there's a few lines I got to take off, a few AC lines. And then most of it should just unbolt. And I got to take the steering shaft out, obviously. And a bunch of, just a few wiring underneath the driver's side foot place. But yeah, that's the gist of the fender removal. I think what I'm going to do is, since both of them are rusty, I mean, the driver's side wasn't super rusty, but it's starting to rust now. So, you know, I'm going to sell it on Marketplace. I'll sell that one on Marketplace. We're going to scrap that one, scrap my rear bumper, sell that on Marketplace. This, because the plan with this is to hopefully get a ranch hand front bumper, and then I'm going to go on eBay and buy the OEM fenders. And then at that point, since both side rockers are rusty, I'm going to buy the rocker panel replacements on eBay as well and just weld them back in. And then I think the only thing I do have to find is the driver's side door, the front door, and the rear suicide door. Otherwise, my passenger side's ones are rust-free somehow. But another thing I have to find is these latches. I have to replace these latches because these are known for sagging on the inside here. You can see it's just all bent up and broken. And my door falls, and it ruined the latch of the door. You can actually hear it when it opens. It's just, it's no good. The whole door goes up and down. So yeah, I found those on Rock Auto for like 60 bucks a piece. So a little expensive, I think, but you know, if it'll fix my door, you know, might as well do it. But anyways, yeah, fender removal is complete. Onto the hood next, and then the cab is coming right off here, and then we're getting down to welding this thing, and then sandblasting. So yeah, I guess thanks for watching.